Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, you're going to learn about cancer complacency. Now, before I start, go ahead and hit subscribe below and give me a thumbs up and a like after you watch the video. I'd be super appreciated and just want to say thank you now before I get into it. So, cancer complacency. I've talked about complacency in past videos, but I wanted to hit on this subject again. It continues to keep showing itself to me through the projects that I do and the events that I attend. And I have a story that I will break into here in a minute, but what is cancer complacency? And I think it comes down to what it is that goes on after treatment. We end up going through so many different parts, through the treatment. One, just the mental battle that we deal with on a daily basis, from learning that we have cancer, from our diagnosis all the way through everything that goes on with treatment, and just the battle and the physical battle that we deal with every day, right? And with that, there's this desire to just not have to go through all this stuff once we kind of make it through the treatment side of it and we've either been deemed in remission or cancer free. Becoming complacent after treatment is a real thing. Being beat down because of the treatment physically and mentally really wears on you. And over time, whether you get staged early and you have a short period of treatment, or you get stage advanced and you end up going through potentially years of treatment, it wears on you. And over time, you want to be able to forget about it, and you want to be able to not have to think or do anything that has anything to do with medical personnel and situations, even though there's moments in time where you like being waited on hand and foot. There's this desire to just not have an agenda anymore, and to not feel like the next day you have to go run a battery test, you have to have blood work done, you have to have biopsies taken. And so it's really easy to fall into a life of complacency only for the fact that you just want to take that break, and that's where it kind of starts with, is you just want to take a break from all the entire experience that you went through. The tough part is coming back from that. Once you kind of start down that mindset of I'm just going to take a break, it's really easy to continue staying in that mindset. And that's where the complacency side of it comes, because it's important to really, one, just to start finding purpose and having some sort of desire that you need to make your life valuable in some way. And in order to do that, you need to do something outside the box and to push yourself into doing something that is going to give you purpose and meaning. And what I mean is, say you take your little break, then it's during that time you're not doing a lot, you start coming out of it and you start working on the things that might make you feel like you're giving value to the world. And whether that's sharing your story, whether that is writing a book, or whether that is whatever, that is how you start kind of figuring out what it is that brings you meaning and brings you purpose in your life. I think when you go on break afterward, just because you just need to let your mind kind of figure out what the hell just happened and to assess the entire situation and the entire treatment process. And if you don't continue doing stuff that's going to help better yourself and start taking action that's going to make you find that purpose and find the meaning in your life, then you kind of start falling into that sedated lifestyle, and that's where it can get really dangerous. You do go through a lot of emotions and a lot of stuff. There's a very good chance you're going to feel anger and despair and discouragement, because it wears on you. All the treatment wears on you, and sometimes you just don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, and then all of a sudden it might happen. It's really easy to kind of fall into that trap and to fall into, I talk about a sedated lifestyle in past videos. Once you fall into that, then you just kind of fall into the complacent side of life also, and you don't do anything. And that's where, you just end up doing what you need to do to survive, to make money come in, and then you watch TV and you just zone out. And I don't think that's necessarily best for us cancer survivors. I think in order for us to kind of reach that next level, we need to get together and bring all this information to light to people that are going to go through it. And that's what I'm trying to do here with Internal Architect. About a week ago, I went down to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Rocky Mountain Blood Cancer Conference, and I ended up, sitting amongst a bunch of people at the tables for lunch and breakfast and whatever. Sat in on a couple breakout sessions too. And for breakfast, I sat next to a lady and started talking to her, and you could tell that she was just tired and pretty deflated at the same time. She had been battling Hodgkins for a couple years and ended up having some allergic reactions to some of the medicines and the chemotherapy, and just had a couple situations that it made it really difficult for her to stay positive through such a dark period of time. And even though she's been in remission for about 3.5 years, you could tell she was just broken. I just tried to talk with her about her experience, and ask her about what it was like. Are you sharing your story? Because this stuff is really important for other people that are out there. So it was a little discouraging for me to feel the darkness from her, but it needed to happen because I needed to make sure that I can understand where honestly a lot of you might be at, and not really feeling like you have a direction or what you want to do. You're just happy. Maybe you're not even happy that you're alive at this point because it was just such a miserable experience. But the fact that you are alive gives you the opportunity to do something positive. And when you start finding things that are positive is when you start finding purpose and you start finding meaning in your life. And that's why it's so important to battle the cancer complacency that goes on as a survivor. So that is really my biggest thing that I wanted to talk about, because the blood cancer conference was really enlightening for me. I'm looking forward to going next year and really starting to kind of just talk to more people and just be a little bit more open to the understanding of what the conference was really intended for. And that's why I'm just happy that I was able to meet a couple people and talk to them a little bit about their experience there. So that was really cool. So yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time and your energy into watching the video. And if you have any comments or questions, hit me in the section below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Again, thank you for your time and your energy, and I will see you on the next video.